There's a couple brand new Nintendo Switch stories we need to talk about today, starting with a Switch game getting a new data mine that does suggest it'll be on track to receive more free DLC update style content that we've come to expect from Nintendo at this point. Then the big talking point for today's video has to do with why fans are expecting maybe this week for the reveal of Wave 2 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Course Pass DLC, as there's been some interesting maintenance spotted online and we have to break down where to have your expectations set going forward. What's up, Nation? If it's your first time on the channel, make sure you join Sunbro Nation by subscribing below, hit the like button on this video if you enjoy it today, and make sure you turn on your bell notification icon so you're kept up to date with all the newest gaming news. Now, as I mentioned, guys, we got a couple different stories to unpack today, and we have to kick it off with a new data mine that has been spotted around Nintendo Switch Sports. And you may know my sentiment recently with Nintendo and sports games has been very much on the negative side, because I think it's fairly safe to say across the board with both Mario sports titles and with Nintendo Switch Sports, we have seen them launch in an extremely light on content state at a full retail price. And of course, as a physical game collector, I like to have ideally the full game on the cartridge at launch when it hits retail shelves. But we have definitely seen Nintendo pivot to this strategy of drip feed style free updates for these sports titles, as in their minds, I believe they are trying to make the games relevant for a longer portion of time and give fans a reason to boot them back up and check out the new free content. And while we actually just got an update for Nintendo Switch Sports, which actually added in some brand new functionality, there is a data mine that has taken place on that update file that reveals some future stuff to come. So to get on the same page with exactly what's being claimed here, let's quickly hop over to VGC and read through their detailed typed up article together. A Switch Sports data mine has revealed its upcoming unlockable costumes. 13 future outfit collections were added to the game in a new update. As previously reported, version 1.2.0 patch was released for the game today, adding new features to the game's football or soccer here in the US and volleyball modes. However, the update also added 13 new batches of themed costumes to the game's backend to be made available at a later time. These costume sets are released on a regular basis and are only made available for a couple weeks in order to encourage players to continue playing to earn enough currency to unlock them. And you can then see all of the data mine costumes as they scroll by on screen with, some of them looking okay, I guess. I mean, this is not anything that I'm going to go out of my way to make sure that I have all of the currency to buy them. Towards the end, you can see some more Halloween style themed ones, which I'm sure is going to line up with Halloween towards the end of October. And then to continue on in the article, these additions bring the total number of costume collections up to 27. According to a regular Switch data miner, Oatmeal Dome, who further analyzed the data following the update, the game appears to support up to 29 collections, but they can always increase if necessary. The update's main purpose was to add leg strap functionality for football matches and new volleyball moves. Players are now able to use a Joy-Con controller and leg strap accessory to transform real kicking motions into in-game actions in 4-on-4 and 1-on-1 matches. So first off, the only thing I will give this game in its defense, as opposed to the Mario sports titles that we've talked about on the channel here, is that at least this one did not launch at that full $60 retail price, but rather I believe $40 retail for just the game, or $50 retail if you wanted that leg strap. But then we have to start to talk about, okay, so we couldn't figure out at Nintendo headquarters before this game was released how to add in the kicking functionality to soccer game when you have a leg strap accessory that's being sold with it. And then, I get the costume thing that's kind of ongoing throughout the months, that they want to have give players a reason to hop back into the game rather, and it's kind of turning into, in my opinion, with these Nintendo sports titles, Nintendo dabbling into this games as a service style formula without making it a straight up free title and supporting it with like paid gacha style mechanics. They're really dabbling close into that, where you buy a game at full price or near full price and you just have faith in Nintendo to continue to support it with content over the upcoming year or two. And while that's fine for certain users who are okay with waiting around for future updates, I think it makes for a really poor initial experience for people who go out and get the game on day one. I've pretty much had my playtime with Switch Sports. Most of it was me being online against other players, and I had some fun with it. Now, it's still something that I'll pick up from time to time and play when friends are over, especially more casual gamer friends that, might have more fun with a motion style gameplay experience. But I would much rather have all the modes and all of the costumes to unlock and everything that is going to be supported in the game in terms of gameplay functionality, like the kick ability in soccer. I want that out out of the gate and I want to be able to experience a content complete game at launch, then if you want to do paid DLC down the line, I'm all for it. But imagine if we were talking about this with more marquee Nintendo titles, not even the mainline ones that I'm certain hopefully Nintendo will never dabble into this for games like Zelda and Mario, but imagine a Mario Kart where we launch with 8 characters initially, and then they just say, oh yeah, we'll add more over the course of time, new stages will be added over the course of time, and you initially only have something like 3 cups to go through, and then you have all the online play features, but only 8 characters. Like, are you going to be happy paying $60 at release and then hoping that over the course of a couple years Nintendo finishes their roadmap for the game? Like, I am not a fan of this tactic whatsoever. If we bought Smash Bros at $60 and it had 12 characters at launch and 5 stages to play, and they're like, don't worry guys, we have a roadmap of updates coming, it's all going to be supported in the future, just buy the game now, full retail price, don't worry about if we're going to put it on sale in the future or anything like that, and you could have just waited and got a more content complete experience later on, we're going to update the game as you go. And I just think that's a terrible practice. Like, you literally screws over the buyers who buy this thing out of the gate. You are better off legitimately waiting a full year after these Mario sports games and Nintendo Switch sports games come out to actually go pick them up. Maybe you can find them on sale at that point and it'll actually have the content available, which makes it closer to a complete Nintendo Switch game. So clearly, I'm not a fan of this. I want to hear from you guys in the comments down below how you feel about free ongoing updates for the games. Like, yes, if the games were already super content heavy and then Nintendo just has more updates planned for them, that's fantastic. But I feel like this is a strategic tactic to get fans kind of checking out the game and getting it back in the news buzz again over and over again. And it's just something that you can't tell me that Nintendo Switch Sports and the recent Mario Sports games have launched in a full completed state, in my personal opinion. But I want to hear from you guys, regardless of how you feel about this, in the comments down below around all things Nintendo Switch Sports and these free update roadmaps, and whether or not you feel strongly about it. Do you think that this bleeds into more games besides just the Mario Sports titles, or are you somebody who actually prefers this style of content because it does keep you more engaged with the game? So please share all your thoughts and feelings on Nintendo Switch games and free update roadmaps in the comments down below. Now, the other story we're talking about today has to do with a DLC update that I think all Nintendo Switch fans are on the same page with, and that is, where is this update at Nintendo? We are ready for the announcement of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC Booster Course Pass Wave 2, because, you know, it's been since March that we got Wave 1, and we've seen advertisements and things popping up around online that basically the same kind of strategy that they advertise the fighter packs with on Smash Bros. We're seeing that promoted with Booster Course Pass, and if you just look at a calendar, you would assume that Nintendo is going to space these things out relatively far away from each other, meaning if we're getting 3 packs a year, which we are, and we're expecting to see this finish up in the end of 2023, that now is the time, either July, August at the latest. But then we're going to quickly start talking about stuff like a September Direct, and then do they reveal Wave 3 there and launch it in October, or are waves actually just going to be these Twitter drop surprise announcements, and maybe we don't get Booster Course Pass Wave 3 until something like November or December? Like, clearly Nintendo's unpredictable with this particular scenario. However, just in the last 24 hours, there has been something circulating around online that does have fans once again pointing to, is this the week we can see it revealed? And we have to break down where to set your expectations, because while it could point to something going on with Mario Kart in the near future, it doesn't necessarily guarantee any kind of announcement from Nintendo around Wave 2, although I'm hopeful that we will see it revealed. We have to first get on the same page with what's been spotted here, where we can hop over to Nintendo Status Bot on Twitter, where it says the following: maintenance scheduled. Maintenance has been scheduled for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on July 28th from 1:55 UTC to 3 UTC. Now, the good news is that is actually this evening, so we will not have to wait too much longer. However, you have to keep in mind with things like maintenance schedules, Nintendo could actually be doing work to the title and still not make it go live right when the maintenance is finished. So we may not know anything tonight in terms of whether or not this is going to be a surprise evening Twitter drop like they have done with things like N64 games and other various NSO style services. So could it be something? Absolutely. However, to kind of play devil's advocate with the story and really pull back your expectations on this maybe being anything at all, we do have a number of other Switch titles that are also being scheduled for maintenance in a similar time window. However, not quite as long maintenance scheduled for multiple other titles as it is for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So yes, this is literally a coin toss at the end of the day, because you can also see this tweet also posted up by the same account where it says maintenance has been scheduled for multiple titles on July 28th from 30 UTC to 2 UTC. And you can then see ARMS, Luigi's Mansion 3, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Super Mario Party, Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, amongst many others. There's one mystery title that has been revealed to be Ring Fit Adventure. So essentially, something is going on with multiple Nintendo Switch games, and whether or not it's just online security patch style fixes or even tweaking some of the netcode, as Nintendo has upgraded to a newer, more secure, or rather just faster and less latency style netcode for certain games, we don't know what's going to go on behind the scenes here. I'm not hopeful for anything major. This, at the end of the day, is technically Xenoblade Chronicles 3 launch week, and I think that Nintendo, and we've seen so far this week, really stay laser focused on that with daily updates around different things to come and to expect in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And so, just to set my expectations on the lower side, I'm going to say we get no announcement anytime this week for Mario Kart Wave 2. I do think there is a solid chance that in the first couple weeks of August, just because it's time at that point to put it on the service, that we see it then. But at the end of the day, Nintendo is Nintendo, and we can never be for sure about any of this stuff. But just because you do see maintenance scheduled, especially with the fact of multiple titles around the Nintendo Switch library getting updates in a similar time frame, I wouldn't put a ton of stock into this one being the Booster Course Pass Wave 2. But let's just hope it's not too much longer away, because I am ready to hop back into Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and experience some new tracks and hopefully have a fantastic library of picks this time around. I am hoping for a lot of double dash tracks myself, as that is honestly my most nostalgic Mario Kart game to date. I want to hear from you guys at this point in the video on both the different stories we talked about today. How do you feel about Nintendo and their sports titles and their free drip feed style updates? And definitely share with me whether or not you think this maintenance indicates that we will be getting an announcement for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe later on tonight or this week at all, or do you think that yes indeed this is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 week and we're probably not getting anything announced until next week at the earliest? And bonus question, share with me which tracks you are most hopeful we will see as part of Wave 2 when it is officially revealed from Nintendo. So regardless of your thoughts and feelings on everything we talked about today, I do look forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below before you leave the video, as I do look forward to getting a back and forth conversation started with you all around these topics. So watch yesterday's video next if you haven't already, where we discuss some potential good news for Nintendo and their participation at future events like E3, in addition to a breakdown of what was changed in the most recent NSO app update. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video.